NPLW football comes to Wednesday nights at the Ven in what is a make-up fixture from back in round 6. Bulleen Lions hosting FV Emerging, two of the more impressive teams so far in season 2024, going head-to-head. Bulleen with the chance to go top of the league with just a point from tonight's game. It would help them or allow them to leapfrog Preston Lions into top spot. FV Emerging, meanwhile, coming into tonight's game, sitting in 8th position. Although don't let that deceive you, they have played a couple games fewer than the rest of the competition. And tonight an opportunity to make up some of the ground that they've lost, having hardly played over the last month or so. Although it'll be anything but an easy task coming up against this formidable Bulleen outfit. My name is Oscar Rutherford. Thank you for your company for tonight's game. Looking at the teams as we prepare to get underway. A couple of changes for Bulleen as Leah Maldiri and Jess Young both start tonight, having been on the bench for Friday night's win at Preston. They replace Caitlin O'Brien and Katrina Nickpour, who both drop down to the bench. May well see Maya Markovsky reverting to that striker position. See how Caitlin Friend has opted to shuffle her pack. FV Emerging, meanwhile, 3 changes from their 2-2 draw with Burundara on the weekend. All of them seemingly coming in attack. Danella Buttress and Amelia Ingalls are both into the team, whilst the big change, the big inclusion, is Annika Doveston back in this FV Emerging team. 4 goals and 8 assists last season. She was a key component of their attacking output. She returns to the team as Caitlin Karich and Fiorina Iaria both start on the bench tonight, whilst Eva Kokotis is not included in the squad, so a big loss for FV Emerging not having Kokotis available. But they've got some very handy replacements lined up indeed. We are now underway at the Veneto Club. Bulleen Lions looking to continue their really unbelievable run of form that they've been on over the last couple of months. They did lose in the opening round of the season. Since then, they have been perfect, picking up win after win. Another one tonight would be an 8th straight in NPLW. If you throw in their couple of Nike FC Cup wins, it'll be a 10th straight win in all competitions for Caitlin Friend's team. Here is Nika Doveston. Karina Rossi was the target, but the attempt to pick out Clancy Westaway was misdirected. Westaway seemingly starting out on this right wing rather than her more usual central midfield position. Does look as if for Bulleen, Lourdes Gonzalez is the player who's stepped up into that number 9 role with Kat Nickpour on the bench. This is Bella Accardo. Now out to one of the inclusions, Amelia Ingalls. Very much a shuffled pack from Santi Escudero. Ingalls, one of those players brought in. This is an opportunity for Doveston. Looks to go across to the left-hand side. Rossi thought about the shot. Does in the end get one away, but there's not a whole lot of power behind it, so it'll be a first touch for Erin Hudson in the Bulleen goal. Outside of Maldiri and Young being brought into the Bulleen lineup, it is the same as the team that got that really impressive 2-0 win at Preston last Friday night. Isabel De Harkers, Alana Byrne, Ara Halidal, Mila Bulic, Yuka Sato, Lourdes Gonzalez, Maya Markovsky, and Alana Cordolino. This is Little. Turning to Isabel De Harkers at the back, who looks long towards Cordolino. That was a vital intervention from Jade Tam. Tam moving into the central defensive position to accompany Accardo tonight, with Ingalls in the right fullback slot. This is Westaway. Decent run now, Doveston. Seeing plenty of the ball early. Once again looks out to that left-hand side. It's an important touch though from Liam Aldiri to get it away from Danella Buttress, one of the inclusions for emerging tonight. Buttress does get this shot away. DeHarkis was alert to the danger. We see Annabelle Yates, the left fullback, who will be taking this throw. One of the more impressive names in the FE emerging team over the last couple of seasons, Annabelle Yates. Pass looks centrally, but fails to pick out Poppy O'Keefe. So Maya Markovsky will regain possession for Bulleen. Sato now finds Gonzalez, and Alana Cordolino has space. Cordolino, goalkeeper comes, Cordolino shoots, it's a good save at first. Cordolino with the cross, and it's a double save from Sophie Denner, making her first real contributions in the contest. And as is so often the case, Alana Cordolino posing that substantial threat in behind the opposition defence. And FE emerging won't be wanting to give her too much space to run into, because we saw right there that there aren't many players in the NPLW who can catch her. So a corner now for Bulleen, sent in by Yuka Sato, and it's found its way all the way through, bundled over the line in the end. Wasn't the most convincing corner routine, but Bulleen have not taken long to give themselves an early lead. And the Bulleen machine looks like it may well be getting prepared to just keep on rolling. One of the stingiest defences in Victorian football. 5 goals conceded all season in the NPLW for Bulleen. And FE emerging will have to breach that defence if they are to get anything out of this game now. Taking a look at the replay. Came off Lourdes Gonzalez, or maybe Annika Doveston attempting to block on the line. Ended up turning it into her own net. Well, regardless of who's attributed the goal, Bulleen have their early lead. They are just a team who looks so confident every time they take to the park right at the moment. This is Young. Thought about allowing the ball over the line. In the end does win the throw for her team. Clearing ball only as far as Maldiri. A heavy first touch though allows Buttress to regain the ball. Maldiri continues to harass though. We're seeing FE emerging, the pressure very much being applied as they attempt to play out from their defensive half. And we see the foul there on Yuka Sato. Of course, a couple of former FE emerging players in the Bulleen lineup tonight. The aforementioned Alana Cordolino, very much making her name in this emerging team last campaign. As well as Miller Bullich, one of the central defensive pairing for Caitlin Friend's team. This is DeHarkis, who delivers the free kick. And some doubt as to where the last touch came off, and it was a Bulleen head. So Sophie Denner will be able to scurry across and restart play with a goal kick. And so with that early goal, as things stand, Bulleen going clear on top of the NPLW ladder. 2 points ahead of Preston and matching them on 9 games played. Important intervention there coming in from Ingles. Danger at the back for Ricardo, with Markovski continuing to provide plenty of danger. Foul called though. Our central referee tonight, Marcus Lucaris. This is Yates. It's inboard to Eva Gutschmidt. Pressure applied by Young. Yates back with the ball. And we're seeing the challenge for FB Emerging, who like to play with the ball and are happy trying to build up from deep. As we've seen, this FB, or this Bulleen team rather, is no easy opposition to play through. Bullich cops a bit of a shove. And some calls for a yellow card to be shown. But it looks as if we will escape without any early bookings for Karina Rossi. Daveston finds her way out of a tight situation. This is Tam. Look to pick out Buttress. Now Yates and Cordolino. Two players who no doubt know each other very well from their time spent in the FB Emerging team. Rossi does come away with the ball, Karina Rossi. And now FB Emerging charge forward. The ball towards Westaway. It's a decent first touch. A really important intervention from Ara Halidal. FB Emerging showing the danger that they are very much capable of creating. Lovely piece of play from Rossi to create the chance. Listening in as FB Emerging coach Santi Escudero dishes out some instructions to his players before this corner is delivered. Calling for, I think, some more ambitious and quick play with the ball. This is Jade Tam to deliver the corner. It's into a decent area. The header comes from Ricardo. Off target though. Nonetheless, a positive couple of minutes for FB Emerging. Did mention just before Bulleen's supreme defensive record. Just the 5 goals in the whole of the NPLW season. In fact, the last time they conceded a goal in the league was back at the end of March, so almost 2 months ago. It's been a mighty impressive run from Caitlin Friend's team. Daveston now looks towards Goodsmith, who couldn't trap the ball. Now Yates goes direct. Gahakis was there, and now Gonzalez. Asked a little bit too much of Alana Cordolino. Of course, you compare Bulleen's defensive record to FB Emerging, who, well, they've scored in every game they've played this season. They're very much capable of finding the back of the net, but they've also conceded in all of those games. And that run will continue for another week. Still no clean sheet for Sophie Denner in 2024. This is Ricardo. Across to Tam. The two centre halves just patiently, perhaps looking to draw the Bulleen players out of their shape. And now the forward thinking as Rossi shows for the ball. This is Yates, Doveston. You see how eager FE Emerging are to get Annika Doveston on the ball in the opposition half. She's been such a vital cog in the FE Emerging team for a number of years now, Annika Doveston. So yet again, it's Rossi's involvement that gets FE Emerging a little bit further rather than just being stuck passing the ball between themselves as a defence. Gonzalez looks for Young. Deharkis is pushed a long way up. And Bulleen will get an opportunity with a dead ball in the opposition half. Not a huge surprise to see standing over it. Deharkis signed from the Portland Thorns in the off-season, following a well-trodden path from the Portland Thorns to Bulleen Lions. Deharkis goes into the centre of the box. Nicely defended by the emerging players, though. We are just seeing in this first 15 minutes just how difficult it is to come to the Veneto club and take down Bulleen. Very much experts at suffocating their opponents. A little bit of space here for Westaway, though. The pass was initially cut out by Deharkis. Now Annika Doveston is chasing down the centre half. And anyone who hasn't seen Isabel Deharkis play yet this season is now very quickly becoming familiar with her tendency to push right up the pitch. Capable of posing an attacking threat as well. Ball won back here, though, in a great position for Emerging. The snapshot comes in and had to be alert to Erin Hudson. Karina Rossi just reminding her opponents not to get too sloppy on the ball. And now we will have another corner routine. Jade Tam once more trudges over to send it in. Nika Doveston is there short. Tam perhaps looking to go direct instead. Indeed she does, and it requires the punch from Hudson. Ball still alive in the box. Ricardo thought about the shot, gets one away eventually. But it's Bulleen who escaped with possession. Yates cutting across to deny Cordolino. And that's a really dangerous giveaway as Jess Young plays through Gonzalez. Just couldn't keep herself onside, though. Danger averted for FE Emerging. And very much capable of creating high quality chances on their own. That is without being served them up as they were just there. Long ball. Well, it's a nice idea towards Buttress, but the offside flag is up. Referee let the play continue for a little while before eventually bringing it to a halt. We were discussing earlier the lack of games that FE Emerging have played over the last month. They did, of course, play that 2-2 draw with Boroondara on the weekend. But prior to that, we are very much going back into just about the middle of April for the last time FE Emerging were on the pitch. A series of games rescheduled for a variety of reasons, including this one against Bulleen. The 23rd of April was the game prior to the weekend just gone. This is Alana Cordolino. Still going as Cordolino, but coming across was Tam to snuff out the chance, and does so effectively, winning a goal kick for a team. That 23rd of April game, that was the Nike FC Cup win for FE Emerging against Heidelberg. Both these teams still in that competition. Quarterfinals coming up over the next couple of weeks. And both will fancy themselves as decent chances from here, from that stage of the competition. Smith is asked to do plenty and is unable to come away with the ball. Markovski, who did star in Friday night's win against Preston Mayor. Markovski is heavily involved and really over the last few weeks has put together a string of supreme performances. Maldiri looks in towards Byrne. Westaway almost able to sneak in and reclaim possession. Long ball through, it's left for Jess Young. Young gets the shot away. Denner was there in the right position. The ball is cleared away. J-Tam taking no chances from that position. Saw the defenders just converge on Karina Rossi there. Not allowing the emerging striker any space in which to work. Araha Little finds Markovski. It's crowded out though. Final touch seemed to have come off Markovski rather than Amelia Ingalls. Ingalls, a former junior at Bulleen. Very much familiar surroundings in which she finds herself tonight. This is Bulledge. Tam once more read the ball early. Now Goodsmith. Out towards Buttress. Couldn't get past her opposing fullback in Maldiri. And now Yuka Sato pretty clearly fouled on that occasion. Harker's almost giving the ball away in a dangerous area. Gonzalez did enough to cover the mistake though. You just see the magnetic effect that DeHarkis has. Every time Bulleen are in possession, they're almost looking towards their centre back for that creative spark. Goodsmith, back to Ocado. Emerging have done a good job over the last 15-20 minutes just to even out the contest, having gone behind so early. Bulleen we're seeing patiently attempting to find their way through. Rossi didn't quite get there in time to take the ball from Dahakis. Little now has Markovsky. It's a good battle being fought between Markovsky and Ingles. Being brought into the team, taking on one of the most informed players in the competition in Markovsky. Ingles has done a very impressive job thus far. Gonzalez picks out Sato. Very quickly find themselves on the opposite wing to Bulleen with Cordolino. Tried the nutmeg on Annabelle Yates. Got enough of a touch on it though. Sato now. Important from Anika Doveston. Cordolino gets the shot away with the left. Delana Cordolino saved onto the post. And despite Maya Markovsky turning the ball into the back of the net, the offside flag means that it will not count. Cordolino creating plenty of work for Sophie Denner. It's a great save. And credit to the goalkeeper for turning it onto the post. Anna Berners slipped in an unfortunate moment there. But Rossi not on the same wavelength as Westaway. Rossi wins the ball back though. Good Smith out towards Buttress. Back inside to a captain in Good Smith. The pressure from Gonzalez. That will frustrate Santi Escudero. Possession in the Bulleen defensive third. The emerging will not want to be so easily giving away the ball from those positions. It's a dangerous back pass, which has Erin Hudson scrambling. It's just wide of the post though, and almost calamity for Bulleen. They do escape with a corner conceded though. Surfy emerging, another corner, this time from the opposite side. Markovsky was the first to get their head on it. In the end, Buttress fires a shot and it catches a Bulleen player on the way through. So J-Town will have another opportunity to deliver from this near side. Anika Doveston consistently there as an option. Not often used though up to this point. This corner does find an emerging head. The Ocado header is off target. Emerging very much in this game still. Doveston goes quickly towards Westaway. Important contribution from Little. And now Young. This is Markovsky. Maldiri lifts it over the oncoming Annabelle Yates to release Cordolino. Cordolino, though, too heavy of a touch. And that will allow Effie emerging the ball once again. seeing how evenly contested this game has been. Two teams not willing to give the other an inch. Glad to say we've got a goal to show for it. This is Rossi now, looking to add to that tally. Goes direct. That one a relatively comfortable save for Hudson. The early goal, ensuring that we won't get a repeat of the scoreline from last year's meeting between these two teams at the Ven. That one ending in a 0-0. Second game played out at Knox. Bulleen came away with the points on that Friday night, a 2-1 win. Although two scorers for Bulleen who are no longer with the club, Alana Janchevsky and TJ Vlanic. Janchevsky, of course, now with Heidelberg, whilst Vlanic recently announced for Essendon Royals. It's fitting, though, that Anika Doveston is back in the team for tonight, having been the scorer for FE Emerging in that 2-1 defeat. Nella Buttress once more trying to take on the responsibility of breaking through the Bulleen defence. So as we tick past the half-hour mark for this Wednesday night clash, a bright start for Bulleen is what separates the two teams. A goal from a corner. FE Emerging have worked their way back into a much more even position over the last 20 minutes or so. Although they are very, I'd say, still struggling to create clear-cut chances, Santi Escudero's outfit. Slip from Little, sees Westaway claim possession. Now Goodsmith out to the left-hand side. Buttress has the underlapping run from Yates. DeHarkes comes across and is strong in the challenge. A little bit of end-to-end football now. Cordolino the target. Doveston has to be quick. She's able to keep pace with Cordolino. A decent attempt, but still coming away with the ball is Cordolino, and the cross towards Gonzalez. So nearly picking out her teammate in a glorious position. And the scrambling FE Emerging defence does just enough to come away with the ball. Westaway set a task. Only able to concede a throw, though. DeHarkes goes out towards Cordolino. Sato, though, opts for the retreat. And back to DeHarkes. Orchestrating the Bulleen attack. Markovsky almost able to slide it back towards Young. Now Markovsky's the one getting the shot away. It's been a busy start to this game for the Emerging defence. So far they've been up to most challenges that they've been set. That was really nicely done by Accardo, inviting the danger. Frustration for FE Emerging is, of course, even when they do come away with the ball from defence, it's a major task that's being set for Karina Rossi and Clancy Westaway. Nella Buttress as well, going forward. This is Markovsky. Gonzalez with the turn. Ingles sends the ball away. Just a little bit of a frustrated mutter under a breath from Clancy Westaway. Calls from Karina Rossi for a team to calm it down when they've got the ball, rather than just hoofing it long and asking the forwards to win out. To Harkers. Young. Releases Markovsky. Great challenge from Ricardo. She has been excellent to start this game, Bella Ricardo. Burn in towards Sato. Sato goes herself. Caught the ball on the half volley. It's not easy to get those ones right. I think have a few better attempts in her collection. Might be able to hear on the sideline Santi Escudero barking instructions at his team, trying to help them pick their way through the Bulleen team out of possession. And this one's worked out pretty nicely. Yates, Aldiri doing just enough. It is still an emerging throw in the opposition half. They did that one well. Doverston goes towards Westaway. And Clancy Westaway. Buttress lost her footing at the key moment. And the ball played off the emerging winger for a Bulleen throw. And so we return to this pattern of play. See Doverston and O'Keefe attempting to show for the ball. And that created the space for the more direct approach. But even when the likes of Buttress and Rossi are found with that first pass, there's a Bulleen defender right on their tail, more or less every time. The offside flag will save Effie emerging on that occasion. 3 Bulleen players all converging on Jade Tam. Unfortunately, it's worked out okay for the central defender. He's been heavily involved, Jade Tam, in his less familiar position at central defence. It's a nice one too to set away Yates. Now O'Keefe. Uses Westaway on the right-hand side. Westaway back to O'Keefe. And Byrne forces O'Keefe to retreat a little bit. South Doverston, who goes herself. It's a decent attempt. But too much height on the ball. And that was more successful play through from emerging in terms of getting from the defensive third into the attacking third. Westaway in a bit of space, but didn't really have any targets to pick out in the box. and perhaps not with the experience or skill set required to take on her opponents and go by herself, Clancy Westaway, from those situations. Does make you wonder if perhaps one of the more natural wingers will be brought on in the second half by Santi Escudero. And Karic and Fiorina Iari are both options available. Lara Aitken as well, potentially an option to attempt to unlock the Bulleen defence. Set piece delivery. Buttress couldn't take control. Poppy O'Keefe. Westaway now. Uses Rossi. Buttress goes to Doverston. He's a little bit more familiar from FE Emerging in terms of what they look like with the ball at their feet. Some real pace and intensity, trying to pull their opponents from side to side. And a pinpoint pass to find O'Keefe. And now Ingles out towards Westaway. Westaway and Ingles exchange. Back out to O'Keefe. This is nice football from Emerging. But even then, the end result seems to be the same. Goodschmidt. Now Buttress. Has Rossi available short, goes herself to Zanella Buttress and shoots on goal. For a moment you thought maybe it might have snuck in at the near post. But Hudson making the save to concede the corner. Yet more reason for optimism for FE Emerging. Time delivery, almost getting there and keeping the head down was Buttress. Did though get under the ball. It's a bit of an awkward position with Maja Markovski, very deliberately positioned in the centre of the box, making it harder for any of the other players really to get their heads on the ball. And even if they do, Markovski making it difficult to get a good read on its flight. Emerging attempt to press. Even then, the individual quality of the Bulleen players able to withstand all the pressure and draw the foul. So with 2.5 minutes remaining in this opening half. Bulleen, just the way the game's, the momentum has shifted over the last 5 or 10 minutes. Might be content to take their 1-0 lead into the break. It's a dangerous pass from Denner into the feet of Young. Sato looked to return the ball. Emerging escape unscathed. Dahakas with the ball over the top to find Markovski. The offside flag, though, is raised very nearly the pass to get through, or rather over, the FE emerging team. Slightly too early, Maja Markovski. Now Rossi. Tried to pick out a teammate on the left-hand side. It's worked out okay in the end for FE. Ocado. Opted against playing it to Goodsmith. He's not prepared to take on the risky pass into the middle of the park. You can understand why. You wonder if perhaps that's limiting what Emerging are able to create going forward. West away. Closed down by a combination of Little and Byrne. Working hard to win the ball back is Pansy West away. She really has all evening. Very little to show for it. As we move into first half stoppage time, there will be 2 more minutes left to play. Time enough for either of these teams to change the scoreline just before the break. Just a little bit of the intensity, though, has dropped out over the last little while. Very high intensity start to the game, both with Bulleen's pressing and Emerging's attempt to pick their way through. To Harkers. Finds Gonzalez. Will run back by Goodschmidt. And now Doveston goes towards Westaway. It's a decent ball. Still can't see Westaway. Waits for the support from O'Keefe. Back to the number 19. Goes to ground. Perhaps a foul called for going down a little bit too easy. A bit of simulation perhaps. Or maybe it was the handball once he was on the deck. Clancy Westaway. He's been in those positions relatively often in this first half. Just hasn't looked entirely comfortable and without the support of Rossi all the time. Not someone that you can just throw in a cross and rely on their superior physical stature to win the ball. Rossi a bit more comfortable in these kinds of positions, dropping a bit deeper. Time perhaps for one more chance. Doveston though retreats. The referee takes a look at his stopwatch, and as that ball goes out for a throw, that will signal the halftime whistle. The early goal from Bulleen sees them in the lead as we head into the break. Goal coming from a corner 5 minutes in. And despite a decent fight back from FE Emerging, creating a fascinating contest for the majority of the first 45. Bulleen's lead nonetheless remains intact. So FE Emerging will have the chance perhaps to review their approach. Some changes perhaps incoming from Zanti Escudero as they look to find a way back into this game. But at the break, at the Ven, it is Bulleen, the narrow lead, 1-0 over FE Emerging. Join me again in around 15 minutes or so for the second half of action. To the Ven to get underway for the second half of this catch-up contest in NPLW Victoria between Bulleen Lions and FV Emerging. The score at the break, the host Bulleen with a 1-0 lead thanks to an early goal from a corner. We'll wait to see what the dubious goals panel, either a Lourdes Gonzalez goal or an own goal from Anika Doveston, which separates the two teams. FV Emerging coming back out, hopefully with a renewed intent as they attempt to find their way through this sturdy Bulleen defence, which has still conceded just 5 goals this season in NPL Women. A light drizzle has arrived to kick off the second half. And the referee gets play back underway. Bulleen will be hoping for a similarly bright start to the second 45 as they had in the first. See an early opportunity for Jess Young down the left-hand side. Delivers the cross, hoping to find Maya Markovsky. Markovsky very quickly resumes her battle with Amelia Ingalls in the left fullback position for FV Emerging. And we do, I think, finally have our first yellow card of the evening. I believe that Karina Rossi was the subject of it. Indeed it was Rossi going into the book, so Isabel De Harkis will have her first chance from a set piece. Interestingly, it appears that Amelia Ingalls and Maya Markovsky have both switched sides, so that they're remaining on the camera part of the field for the second half. The ball in is a good one, and the header ever so narrowly off target, coming off the back of the head really of Jess Young. And now for the first time in the second half, FV Emerging will restart play from a goal kick. Ingalls loses out to Markovsky. Goes the early cross, right down the throat of Sophie Denner. We have had a change at the break for FV Emerging. Appears as if Caitlin Carrick has taken up her position. Be forward, Caitlin Carrick. Now Danella Buttress goes in broad, but can only pick out Yuka Sato. Into Westaway, and now Rossi. Karina Rossi makes a bit of space for herself before putting it into the box. Carrick wrestles on the edge of the area and came away with the ball, but deemed to have fouled Jess Young. So it does appear it is Anika Doveston who's made way for Carrick. Karina Rossi moving out to that left-hand side as a result. And Clancy Westaway able to revert to a more natural central midfield position. The rain just getting a little bit heavier. Happy to be in the grandstand and sheltered than out on the pitch. Nicely worked there by Ingalls. This is Muldeary. O'Keefe looks out towards Rossi. Sato with some nice use of her body to protect the ball. Muldeary takes the throw, and Gonzalez tried to tee up Maja Markovski. That one a pretty clear-cut foul, which will result in a second early yellow card. Just a little bit of injury concern for Yuka Sato. That yellow card going to Amelia Ingles, so both left-sided players for FB Emerging are entered in. The man with the whistle in the middle of the park. The rain seems to have gone up even another level as Isabel DeHarkis prepares to take this free kick. She goes short towards Maldiri. Leah Maldiri goes to ground. There was some contact, but a referee not satisfied that there was enough to warrant a penalty. So Emerging escape for now. This is Ingles. Really struggling to get out of their own half right now are the visitors. Denner. Well, the clearing ball does come off Gonzalez, so there will be a bit of a reprieve. Caitlin Karich looks towards Bussy. Nicely defended. So the Bulleen captain Leah Maldiri taking the throw. This is Ingles pushing up from a fullback position, and now O'Keefe looks out towards the and at the end it's Bulleen who come away with the ball through. Cordolino making a run down the wing with the ball for the first time in the second half. Forced though to be a little bit more patient with their build-up. Lions, DeHarkis out towards Cordolino. DeHarkis lets it roll. Not quite able to get there in time. As West away. It's a splendid ball out left. Cross. She had a teammate that wasn't there. Play. Really. From Caitlin Carrick showing us already what she can add to this. Taking the shot. Just a reminder that if the score does remain as it stands tonight on top, a couple clear. The point in their position. Across the competition. To Essendon Royals here at the event. By Pressed away though. Young. Challenge from Goodsmith just delayed the attack slightly. And was the whole time. And it does look as if we will be having a substitution for Bulleen. Jess Young making way for Trina Nickpaw. So a different approach in the second half from Caitlin Friend. Nickpaw has a couple of goals this season since crossing from Heidelberg. We'll see how which position she occupies, with Lourdes Gonzalez having been playing in that number 9 role. This is Carriage. Looks out to the right-hand side where Buttress has a little bit of space. Aaron Hudson, the Bulleen goal. Substitute Nickpaw. The ball back, but handled it in the process. The ball still rolling as Katrina Nickpaw looked to restart play. And well, after a similar start to the second half as we had the first, Bulleen unable to add to their lead though. And we're once again reverting to this very even tussle and contrasting approaches to how these teams want to play their football. Here is Caitlin Carriage. Couldn't trap the ball and well, it rolled over somewhat disappointingly. Well, Deary takes the throw short towards Nickpaw. Markovsky wasn't able to claim the ball. Now Rossi uses Carriage, who turns and picks out O'Keefe. Now Danella Buttress. Cordellino's back supporting the defence. Heather Goodsmith out to Carriage. Gonzalez thought she was about to send the ball the other way, but you've really seen Caitlin Carriage has made in the final third for FB emerging. Nickpaw though winning the ball back in a very nice position for her team. And now De Harkers will restart the attack for the hosts. Tam didn't have any options looking forward, so forced to do a 360. Now De Harkers stepping out from the defensive line. Slides it towards Cordellino. The offside flag though, not for the first time tonight. Curtails the attack. A little bit of dissent from the crowd behind our assistant referee. And that break and play will allow FE Emerging to look to their bench once more. Amelia Ingalls is the player to be withdrawn. And Amelia Tartaglia will be brought into the game. Ingalls, who did a very serviceable attempt at keeping Maya Markovsky quiet throughout this game. Certainly limited the influence of the Bulleen winger. So a strong showing in this first hour of play. And now Tartaglia will be asked to pick up the reins on that task. Risky pass along the defence. Markovsky couldn't get there in time, and it's the first involvement for Amelia Tartaglia. Did enough to deny any supremely quick counter. And now Mila Bulic kicks the ball out of play, as we will pause for a little bit of injury concern on the far side of the pitch. I believe it is Annabelle Yates who's down. Just getting a little bit of treatment on that far part of the pitch. Maybe a bit winded, having had some contact made to the midsection. Santiago certainly be hoping that his fullback is able to recover and continue playing. So he just taking in the big breaths right at the moment on the sideline is Annie Yates. And our referee is ready for us to resume play. The emerging with half an hour or so to claw their way back level in this game. The long ball sets away Gonzalez. It's just enough to keep the ball in play. Now Markovsky. Nice touch from Buttress. Still going, and uses O'Keefe in support. And now Amelia Tartaglia can drive forward from defence. Continues down the left-hand side with Rossi. Marina Rossi looks inboard, picks out O'Keefe. Nice 1-2 with Kutschmidt. Rossi back out to the left-hand side. And Carriage goes herself. It's Westaway, I should say, with the pass back to Caitlin Carriage. That one just catching a little deflection on its way through. And now Cordolino looks to carry the ball in the opposite direction. Referee picking out a foul for a little tug on the shirt as Cordolino was making her way into the opposition half. Just now we've seen Annie Yates back onto the park. So the full complement of 11 for FV emerging. Free kick flicked on by Markovsky, and coming off with Sophie Denner to pick up the ball. It's been a real tough physical battle so far tonight. Markovsky gets past Ricardo, still going is Maya Markovsky. Thought about the shot, maybe thought a little bit too long. That's a big opportunity, gone begging for Bulleen. So it's a tough task tonight, FE Emerging. They'll be disappointed to learn. Well, we'll hold that thought as Caitlin Carriage is through on goal. Carriage slides in to get the shot away. And the second attempt is over the bar. It's as good a chance as FE Emerging have had all night, really. And strong goalkeeping from Hudson. Alert and quick off her line to close down the angle. Caitlin Carriage. She'll want her time again on that one. The point I was going to make just before that passage of play was that it doesn't get a whole lot easier for FE Emerging this coming weekend when they head to Lakeside to take on South Melbourne. And with that break in play, it seems as if the previous passage was the last for Danella Buttress this evening. FE Emerging looking to their bench once again. This is Cordolino. Still going is Alana Cordolino. Races past two. Gets the shot away. Very nearly doubling Bulleen's lead. Alana Cordolino. She just flicked the switch. And we see the scrambling defence from FE Emerging. Confirmation that it was Fiorina Iaria who's been brought on to replace Danella Buttress on that right-hand side. So more attacking reinforcements for Santi Escudero. This is Karina Rossi. Run made by Carriage. Carriage thought about the strike with the right boot. West away now. Out to Iaria, who goes with the left. And maybe just the shot of someone who hasn't quite adjusted to the speed of the game yet. Looking ahead for Bulleen, well, they won't fear anyone in Victorian football right at the moment, the way they're going. Fiorina Iaria goes the cross. Some shouts for handball. Referee happy to let it play. Bulleen over the next couple of league games have two teams who they'll be comfortable favourites to beat. First they welcome Alamein here in Monday Night Football before heading to Keilor Lodge to take on Calder. Alamein won't be a straightforward task, having picked up some of their form in recent weeks. They're also seeing Lourdes Gonzalez being withdrawn by Caitlin Friend. And it's Caitlin O'Brien brought on to replace Gonzalez, who has been as industrious as ever in an attacking role. So Caitlin O'Brien, who had a very good game against Preston on Friday night last week. This is Cordolino. Had a couple too many to beat. Caitlin Carriage uses her strength and sets away Rossi. Karina Rossi has Liam Aldiri for company. Tried to create the space for the shot with the right boot. Still with possession is Rossi. Gets the cross in. It's a really dangerous one. And Bulleen do just enough to scramble the ball clear. And the game perhaps just going up a tempo now. This is Cordolino. Still Alana Cordolino tees up Markovski, who gets the shot away. And Maya Markovski doubles the Bulleen lead. Pulls out the celebration to match. And just when you sensed FB Emerging were taking it up a gear to really make their final push, it's Maya Markovski who fires Bulleen into a 2-0 lead. Important contribution from Alana Cordolino as well. And a supreme finish from Markovski. And as we tick into the final 20 minutes of play, the task which was already substantial for FB Emerging has become even greater. And they'll need a quick response as Rossi plays through Westaway. Milibulic concedes the corner. And having toiled for so much of this game, FB Emerging 2-0 down in this position. Quick response perhaps vital. It's Jade Tam who will deliver this corner. It's a decent delivery as well, and the header comes in. Just a little bit too much height from Caitlin Carriage. And no surprise to see Erin Hudson taking her time to restart play. In fact, goes a little bit quicker than she initially looked she would. And really it's time to throw everything at it if you're FB Emerging. Westaway out towards Rossi. There's that similar move, the cross into the area. Yaria couldn't get there in time. Referee once again forced to stop play as one of the FB Emerging players has taken a seat. Here's Annabelle Yates, perhaps still a little worse for wear after that previous incident. We certainly hope it's nothing too severe that she suffered. Change to replace Anna Yates. Samira Rex Heppy and Lara Aitken, the only two remaining outfield options on the bench. And so as play gets back underway, we see Emerging continuing their efforts to unpick the Bulleen defence down this left-hand side. Good use of the body from Milibulic. Mercado retreats to Tam. Dangerous pass which sees Yukasado pick out Mayor Markovsky. Markovsky out towards O'Brien. Coming across was Fiorina Iaria. Just temporarily filling in at right fullback as Emerging prepare their final couple of substitutions. Lara Aitken being brought on in place of Poppy O'Keefe. And the remaining outfield substitution, Samira Rex Heppy, is brought into the game as Annabelle Yates's replacement. Santi Escudero has now played all his cards as FV Emerging hope for a late surge. But as things stand, Bulleen will be extending their run to 10 consecutive wins. 8 of those coming in NPLW Victoria. And taking themselves to 6 straight league games in which they've kept a clean sheet. If they are able to keep out any of the late FE Emerging attacks. And well, the call is gotta go as FE Emerging are running short on time to pull themselves into this game. Tartaglia looks towards Rossi. Marina Rossi uses Tartaglia. And now Tam across to Ocado. Tam again. Understandably, the Bulleen players tiring somewhat, not able to close down the space as effectively as they were in the first half. But they're still well set up and poised to counter. Markovsky looks out to the left-hand side, but asks a little bit too much of Araha Little. Aitken goes out towards Rex Heppy. Substitute, though, unable to get there in time before it rolled over the line. And Aaron Hudson will be allowed to trot on over to restart the play. And very much no rush at this point for Bulleen. They're just about 15 minutes away from wrapping up the 3 points. And moving clear on top of the NPLW ladder. Aitken for FV Emerging now. This is Carriage. Forced to be patient. Now Tartaglia. Rossi. Sets away Westaway. Still going is Clancy Westaway. Beats Mila Bullich. Couldn't get there in time. And Isabel DeHarkis goes crashing into Clancy Westaway. Cross into the middle. Aitken tries to take it down. Cordolino is back supporting the defense. And now Carriage sends it back to Fiorina Iaria. Ball still in play. Rex Heppy tempted to turn to Harkers. Westaway. Pinched from her toes by Caitlin O'Brien. And the tug of the shirt prompts the referee's whistle. Yaria and Markovsky wrestling on that far side. Some calls for a foul. Looking ahead for FE Emerging, there is that South Melbourne game at Lakeside coming up on Sunday. And after that, it's back home to the home of the Matildas, where they'll welcome Box Hill before they go midweek to the Village to take on Heidelberg. And then it's colder at Keilor Lodge. So fixtures that, and most of those, they'll very much consider winnable, FE Emerging. And when they're playing at their electric best, they can be very difficult to contain. Although contain them is just about what Bulleen have been able to achieve tonight. That early goal setting the tone for the remainder of the contest. Of course, that Markovsky goal coming at really the perfect time as FE Emerging look to make their late surge. Aitken hopes to find either Karic or Rossi, but it's Bullich instead. And the Bullich a little bit too heavy with the touch. Now O'Brien. Pops a little bit of a shove from west away, but keeps her footing. DeHarkers now. Harassed by Karic. See the real mismatch in height between Fiorina Iaria and Maya Markovsky. So an understandable strategy, going long and high to the left wing for Bulleen. This is Aitken. Chance here for Bulleen to put the icing on the cake. This is Caitlin O'Brien. Is patient and plays it towards Cordelino. A little bit too heavy was the pass. Still going as Cordelino plays it inside towards Sato. Got the shot away, but it was off balance as she hit it. Long ball over the top is a good one. This is Iaria. Switched over to this left-hand side. Rossi gets the shot away. Right down the throat of Hudson. And really the problem for FE Emerging tonight, that inability to create those high-quality chances in their attacking third. Largely restricted to shots from outside the box, although you do wonder if they'll reflect on that chance for Caitlin Karic. This is Markovsky. Has a little bit of space, thought about the shot, plays it across goal, and Cordelino, well, it's a brilliant save from Denner. Cordelino just about nailed it in that she would score Bulleen's third. And the long-range attempt from Byrne is into the keeper's hands. FE Emerging just keeping the door ever so slightly ajar. Foul there committed by O'Brien. Tam now. It's Route 1 football at the moment for FE Emerging. Aitken in towards Rossi. It's a nice touch towards Carriage. And the ball deflects nicely for Westaway. Made a little bit of space for herself. There was 4 or so Bulleen players who were there to shut down the chance. Markovsky now. Cordolino's in space, and Markovsky nearly maneuvered herself into a position to release. The offside flag goes up again. Looking ahead to the fixtures for both these teams, should also mention the upcoming Nike FC Cup ties for both of them in the quarterfinals. Bulleen will take on Ringwood City in a few weeks' time, also on the Wednesday night. And the week after that, FB Emerging head to CB Smith to take on Brunswick UVA. Perhaps we'll be seeing these teams meet an extra time this season in that cup competition. Byrne towards Markovsky and now Cordolino. Into the final 5 minutes of regulation. And Alana Cordolino continues to make the runs. Referee happy that there was no foul. The ball did roll its way over for a Bulleen corner. Goal now would very much seal the deal for the home team. So you're not committing too many bodies into the box. Going to make sure they're covering their bases when it comes to the emerging counters. Corner is taken short and there'll be a repeat. And again, Markovsky and Sato happy to just drain a few extra seconds from the clock. Right near the corner flag. Sato's dragged down. It's just further frustrating. FE Emerging. Again taken short. And Markovsky and Sato expertly taking seconds off the clock. Well, if the holds as it is, this will take Bulleen's record over their last 6 NPLW games, including tonight, to a cumulative score of 20 goals to 0. That's all you need to know about how dominant they've been in the last 6 weeks or so. Finally, Emerging given a chance to regain the ball. One last hurrah perhaps for FV Emerging. Good Schmidt looks cross-field. It's out Maldiri, but we'll get another attempt at it. Ball from Mikado. Aitken couldn't take control. Tam towards Tartaglia. O'Brien closing down the space. A couple of substitutes. Westaway. Rossi. Out to Iaria. All inside. Alana Burns there. Sends it high into the night sky. Now Westaway. Rossi. To the space on the right-hand side. Goodschmidt. Goes down by Markovsky. And that could set away Cordolino. That's where the return pass wasn't far enough away from Jay. O'Brien and Westaway. Last touch, I think, coming off Clancy Westaway. And the officials confirm. And an ideal result from that Liam Aldeary throw. Headed back out for another attempt, just a few metres further down the pitch. And as we tick over past 90 minutes played, just waiting for confirmation from the fourth official. Now very much at our central referee's discretion as to how much time will be played. And Bulleen will be happy to take as many of those seconds off the clock as they can, right near the corner flag. So it looks as if it will be Bulleen returning to the top of the tree. And for FE Emerging, whilst they do find themselves in 8th, still have a couple of games to make up some of that ground. It still felt like they were very much competitive for the majority of tonight's game. Bulleen just having that extra edge to get the goals. And a corner for the home team. Yukasato in no rush to get over to take it. Now the question very much remains, which team is able to stop this Bulleen outfit? They're rampant right at the moment. You know, the regular season never really been the challenge for Caitlin Friend's team. Very much when it gets to the pointy end and finals and the like. And we often see them not get the results that they'll feel they deserve. Right now, there's no one better in Victorian football. That's full time. Bulleen too strong in the end for FE Emerging. The early goal from the corner, combined with the Maya Markovsky long-range strike in the second half, are enough for Bulleen to make it 10 straight wins across all competitions, 8 of those coming in the league, and they return to the top of the NPLW ladder as a result. For FE Emerging, finally getting back into the swing of regular competitive football, and they've shown that their level is still very much there, capable of competing with the best, but not enough in the end to overcome the Bulleen machine, which continues to roll on. They'll head into the weekend's fixtures remaining as confident as ever. FE Emerging prepare for another major task, taking on South Melbourne at Lakes Sunday afternoon. Be sure to tune in to all of that action and more. The NPLW continues. With Bulleen running out winners. Yeah? the coverage. Enjoy the rest of your night.